Don't wanna get ahead of myself, feeling things I've never felt. It's kind of hard for me to explain her personality and everything. Brings me to my knees, oh. She shines me up like gold in my arm. I wanna take it slow, but it's so hard. I love to see her face in daylight. It's more than just our bodies at night. But she's really tempting me, oh. Do you think I'm being foolish if I don't rush in? I'm scared to death that she might be it, that the love is real, that the shoe might fit. She might just be my everything, beyond space and time in the afterlife. Will she have my kids? Will she be my wife? She might just be my everything and beyond. I wanna bring her round to meet you. I think you like a candelina. I know that grandma would have loved her like she was her own. She makes me feel at home, oh. Do you think I'm being foolish if I don't rush in? I'm scared to death that she might be it, that the love is real, that the shoe might fit. She might just be my everything and beyond.
When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. Oh, there's so much they hold, and just like them old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul? Well, I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up.
Hi everybody, welcome family, friends. loved ones, little ones, as we gather here today to celebrate Eric Ty and Abby Olmsted's journey in love for one another. My name is Jeff Young, and I'm blessed to be good friends with Eric and Abby, having met Eric in college. I've had the privilege of speaking with many of you here today to hear your reflections, memories, wishes, and hopes. Today, I'm here to serve as a messenger, a conduit of the warmth and love that you have shared with Eric and Abby. I'm honored to help transmit this love and warmth from each and every one of you through the ceremony today. Some of us have traveled from the Bay Area, Eureka. Others have made the trek from more distant lands, such as Bakersfield, Los Angeles, San Diego, Denver, Seattle, Portland, and beyond. Eric and Abby are so grateful for you all being here today. To settle in and fully feel the energy and light that we're able to share with Eric and Abby today, I want us to begin with several moments of reflection. First, I want to invite us to take in the space that we're gathered in, a space that has profound meaning to both Eric and Abby, and the memories and times they've shared with many of you here over the years. Let us appreciate these redwood trees. Let us appreciate being able to gather in such a magical place where river, land, and sea converge. Pretty awesome. Next, I'll guide us through some reflection on why we're here. I'll invite you to close your eyes if that's your thing. If not, keep them open. And take a deep breath in. Regardless of where we've traveled from, Eric and Abby have shaped and touched us over the years, whether that was as goofy, smiley, silly kids, as our childhood best friends, by our sides as we explored and navigated the transition to adulthood in college, through the camping trips in the Sierras and along the coast, sharing laughs and memories along rivers and lakes, through the cultivation of community in nature, or over the warmth of countless shared dinners or meals, through the playfulness and fun of aunt and uncle time. Eric and Abby have also been by our sides through our transitions, through career shifts, moving homes, our own breakups, illnesses, injuries, moments of our own loss and grief. Always there with open hearts, always bringing us opportunities for joy and light. These are such incredible moments that have touched us deeply. You can now open your eyes if they are closed and take a breath and take it all in. The love that Eric and Abby have shared and will continue to share with us is really what's brought us together today in this special place, in this beautiful moment, in this beautiful confluence of love. What a gift and blessing it is for us to be here together. I also wanted to honor and connect us with those who couldn't travel to be with us here today, like Eric's grandma, Jackie. I also want to honor those who are no longer with us in the physical world. Eric's grandparents, Frank, Jean, and Michael. Abby's grandparents, Hal, Polly, Chuck, and Norma, who passed in April. They too are with us now in this wonderful moment. Feel their love, feel their energy. They're with us too. And finally, Eric and Abby. Take a moment to look out at the crowd, take a look around, and feel this moment. We're all with you here and now, the ones you cherish, and the ones who cherish you. Your community and family of love and abundance in this magnificent confluence of love, this wondrous celebration. What a gift. I'd now like to invite Paula Tai, Eric's mother, to share a short reading.
So this reading comes from a poem that Eric's grandfather, who he called Papa, sent to him, I think when you turned 18, right? Yeah. And it's a wonderful poem that I'd like to share with you. Thanks, Jeff. It's called The Station by Robert Hastings. Tucked away in our subconscious minds is an idyllic vision in which we see ourselves on a long journey that spans an entire continent. We're traveling by train, and from the windows we drink in the passing scenes of cars or nearby highways, of children waving at crossings, of cattle grazing in distant pastures, of smoke pouring from power plants, of row upon row upon row of cotton and corn and wheat, of flatlands and valleys, of city skylines and village halls. But uppermost in our conscious mind is our final destination. For at a certain hour and on a given day, our train will finally pull into the station with bells ringing, flags waving, and bands playing. And once that day comes, so many wonderful dreams will come true. So restlessly, we pace the aisles and count the miles, peering ahead, waiting, waiting, waiting for the station. Yes, when we reach the station, that will be it. We'll promise ourselves when we're 18, when we win the promotion, when we put the last kid through college, when we buy that Mercedes-Benz, when we have a nest egg for retirement. And from that day on, we will all live happily ever after. Sooner or later, however, we must realize there is no station in life. No one earthly place to arrive at once and for all. The journey is the joy. The station is an illusion. It constantly outdistances us. Yesterday's a memory. Tomorrow's a dream. Yesterday belongs to a history. Tomorrow belongs to God. Yesterday's a fading sunset. Tomorrow a faint sunrise. Only today is there light enough to love and live. So gently close the door on yesterday and throw the key away. It isn't the burdens of today that drive men mad, but rather the regret over yesterday and the fear of tomorrow. Regret and fear are twin thieves that would rob us of today. Relish the moment is a good motto, especially when coupled with Psalm 118:24. This is the day which the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. So stop pacing the aisles and counting the miles. Instead, swim more rivers, climb more mountains, kiss more babies, count more stars, laugh more, cry less, go barefoot oftener, eat more ice cream, ride more merry-go-rounds, watch more sunsets, live what must be lived as we go along. The station will come soon enough.
So how did this confluence of love that I referenced earlier, that we're in right now, sharing with Eric and Abby, come to be? Through conversations I've had with many of you, we've come to reveal that each of Abby and Eric's core characteristics, already present at a young age, led them to find each other, persist and overcome hardship, and flourish into the love that we are witness to today. It is through these core characteristics that we'll reflect on how Eric and Abby's confluence of love came to be. I'll start with Eric, and I'll share directly with you, Eric. So Eric, your friends and family all agree that one of your core defining traits is your gusto for life. Your parents saw this eagerness at a very early age. At only 4 years old, you were already jumping off the high dive because your brother Steven, older brother Steven, was doing it. At 6, you developed the habit of setting your shoes and socks out at night before bed, much like a fireman would set out their gear so you'd be up and ready to get up and go for whatever awaited you the next morning. As friends and family, we are all inspired by your perpetual sense of courage and drive to adventure and achieve in the world, to make things count in life and to make the most out of life, whether that's through soccer and football and trying your hardest, even not being the largest or biggest person, through your educational pursuits at UC Berkeley, your hobbies and going all in on the things that you love, your career and your growth in your career, and your relationships, both with us and with Abby. Your friends have always appreciated your thoughtfulness and loyalty, and we have always enjoyed your smile, your ability to keep things lighthearted and fun, and your frequent laughter. Abby, I'll now share with you. Your friends and family all agree that one of your defining traits is your strong sense of determination, a determination to live life with intention in a way that's true to you. You've always been strong and independent, and your parents saw your gift for self-exploration and growth throughout childhood. Whether that was traveling to Spain and Portugal, Vienna and Prague as a child through the Redwood chorus, back when you wanted to be a singer, it's not too late, still got a chance. Or spending a year living in Chile in high school. Like, these are all really big things. Your friends and family have always been impressed with and inspired by your bravery, your ability to continually challenge yourself, and to test and go beyond your comfort zone, exploring and pushing the boundaries within yourself. Your friends have always cherished your thoughtful, empathetic, and sweet nature, and your ability to always hold space for and invite introspection in others. And we have always really enjoyed and been touched by your bright, glowing radiance, smile, your silliness and goofiness. And we wanted to share that these characteristics have truly been a through line in your lives and in your relationship. It's what's made your journey together unique and beautiful. It's been such a blessing for all of us to see you grow as individuals and as a couple. Eric, your gusto for life and thirst for adventure in the external world has helped Abby grow, explore and experience beyond what she ever thought was possible in the world, motivating her to lead climb, scuba dive, free dive, and unlocking a world of beauty in the process. Abby, your ability to introspect and explore the self has helped Eric discover whole new parts of himself, teaching him how to slow down and appreciate moments of stillness, how to listen more and tap into emotions. And you've introduced Eric to mindfulness and meditation, which has now become a daily ritual for him. You've supported each other with love, loyalty, thoughtfulness, and care, in addition to sharing these strengths, as you've navigated, adapted to, and overcome challenges in your life. Whether that was Abby supporting Eric during his pursuit of his MBA while working, which Eric tells me wouldn't have been possible without you, or recently Abby navigating your career shift, you've utilized your gifts together to push each other, to support each other, and support and overcome whatever life has thrown at you. It's been a real gift and treasure for everyone here to see you both blossom over the years as individuals and as a couple. Continue to enjoy and appreciate each other. And now I'd like to invite Pam Cohen, Abby's mother, to share a short reading.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I have 3 readings, and if my voice breaks, just bear with me. The first reading is from a book that my mother gifted to Abby when she was 7 years old. And the book is called Love from Grandma, and it just includes quotes from lots of grandmas. The one I picked out is, life is a mystery to be lived, not a puzzle to be solved. The next reading is a poem by Mary Oliver from her collection Evidence, and it's called Mysteries. Yes. Truly, we live with mysteries too marvelous to be understood. How grass can be nourishing in the mouth of lambs. How river and stones are forever in allegiance with gravity, while we ourselves dream of rising. Two hands touch, and the bonds will never be broken. How people come from delight or from the scars of damage to the comfort of a poem. Let us keep our distance always from those who think they have the answers. Let us keep company always with those who say, "Look!" and laugh in astonishment and bow their heads. And the last reading is called, it's a wedding grace, and it's from a book of graces that we read when the kids were little, and we would pass it around and everyone could pick on a given day what grace they wanted to read. And I don't think we ever read this one. There is no greater mystery, O being of covenants and promises, than love. And so we surround these, our friends and kin, to honor Abby and Eric's steadfast living within this mystery. Within the fullness of married love, surely one of the greatest mysteries of all. Help them to honor their past, even as they create a future, using the pleasures and applause of this present day, a time when we all kneel before you and your accomplishments. You are an inspiration to us all.
Very soon, you'll be making promises to each other in the form of vows. But I wanted to point out that you've already made promises to each other for quite some time. Think back to the first times you were hanging out. Think back to long car rides in Tanner, hanging around the house with Luna, being together on the trail or by a lake or river or stream, and the conversations you've had. Think back to the conversations that started with, someday, maybe we will together, wouldn't it be nice? Those are already promises that you are making in your hearts. Today, you will share a spoken promise, a great commitment, that will allow you to take a stand for what you've truly felt. They will be a way of saying to each other, you know, all those things we promised each other and hoped and dreamed and wished? I meant it all, every word of it. With that, I'll invite Eric to share his promise.
Abby, I'm so happy that we are finally standing here together today. We've had such a journey to reach this moment. I know it's impossible with my words, and we all know I'm very good with words, to fully capture how much you mean to me and what I want to promise to you. We both know some will be lost or perhaps kept between us. When I first met you at Berkeley, there was something magnetic about you. Your smile lit me up so much that I desperately asked if your name was Liz, right? When you immediately started busting my balls for being so wrong, I knew you were not only very attractive, but you had an infectious sense of humor and energy for life. 3 days later, we went on our first date at the Westminster Library. The date started with me smoothly trying to tap open a jammed window. Only I missed the metal crossbar and punched out a full window frame. We couldn't stop laughing for 10 minutes, and it feels like we haven't stopped ever since. From that first date, I could have never dreamt our journey together would have played out as it has. We went head over heels for each other at Berkeley, sharing our love of music and food, adventuring around California, and occasionally enjoying some illegal substances. There were moments when I think both of us would not have guessed we would be standing here today. We needed time to live abroad, to figure ourselves out, and I'm so grateful that we did. I have no doubt that we're more complete and grounded partners in our relationship because of it. I'm also so grateful that we gave us another chance. I still remember kissing you after that dinner in San Francisco and feeling my love deep in my stomach for you. Over the past 10 years, we've grown so much together, and you've enriched my life and helped me grow into a better man. You've countless times reminded me what's most important in life is the love that you share and the people you share it with. You've helped me to achieve so many of my goals by reminding me of the importance of staying young at heart with your jokes and your ridiculous silly faces. You show me the beauty of supporting each other as we navigate life's most difficult chapters, like when we're certain we're going to become dead and then homeless. You've been my adventure buddy, climbing mountains in the Sierras, scuba diving in Hawaii, backpacking in Patagonia, and flying a plane over the bay. You've helped me grow by exposing me to mindfulness practices and supporting me to eat healthier, transforming my once thick football neck into a mooey Flacco neck. You've been honest with me, challenged me to be better, and called me out when I needed it, like the fact that I always eat more than half. Abby, you've shown me what it means to be loved by someone and to truly love someone. A few months ago, I found a Valentine's Day card that you gave me in 2014. The front of the card reads, "Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be." In it, you wrote, "I have an endless well of sweet memories together, and I also know deep down, the best is yet to be." Abby, the best is yet to be. I'm so excited to commit myself to you for the rest of my life, our lives. I promise to always be faithful and prioritize our family, you and our families, and always make room for Luna when she jumps up on the bed. I promise to continue to adventure and to savor the world with you. I promise to finish your food, but only after you make that cute sigh and ask if I want the rest. I promise to share my dreams and my innermost feelings with you and to truly listen when you do the same. I promise to help you grow and reach your goals, as well as things that are up high. I promise to do the little things like scratch your head when you're stressed and always let you sleep in, especially when you tell me I'm not done yet. Abby, you're the love of my life, the yin to my yang. I promise to love you, to cherish you, and to respect you for all of my days. I love you.
Eric really downplayed how funny his was. He was like, no, they're not going to laugh. It's not very funny. So I think I didn't go as funny, so sorry in advance. That was many good jokes. Dang it. Eric, my life partner, companion in shenanigans, and adventure buddy. We finally made it to this day, just a few years behind schedule. You're one of the people I admire most on this planet, and I know others here today feel the same way. Your gregarious personality, rugged good looks, infectious energy for life, and mostly unrelenting positivity make you like a magnet for the good in life. You've made my life much more amazing than I could have imagined with the influence you've had on me over the last 12 years of knowing you. I've become more confident in myself, more loving, more consistent with healthy habits, more adventurous, and so much more because of you and how you live. I remember back to my sophomore year at Cal, go Bears, sitting in the living room at Bear House and reading The Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt. I was reading the chapter on love in which he describes companionate love. He writes, "If the metaphor for passionate love is fire, the metaphor for companionate love is vines growing, intertwining, and gradually binding two people together. True love, the love that undergirds strong marriages, is simply strong companionate love with some added passion between two people who are firmly committed to each other." Although we'd only been dating for about 6 months or so, I remember being struck by these lines and immediately underlining them in the book. From the very beginning, I knew we had something special, which has proved to be even more impactful in my life than I had been able to imagine at the time. We've been blessed with so many positive and unforgettable memories. Partying like crazy college kids at Teak, traveling to Patagonia, going on more camping and backpacking trips than we can count, getting our fur baby Luna, buying a home together, and being constantly surrounded by some of the most amazing people here today. I know we've said this before to each other, but we could die happy today with the lives that we've lived so far. And it hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows. We stood by each other through challenging times in our careers, like the one time that I thought I was going to become dead and homeless if I didn't find a job. And then Eric laughed in my face and was like, dead and homeless in that order. Yeah. Fears and anxieties about the future, Luna nearly dying, not fun, and one potentially fatal car accident. However, through it all, we've continually supported and committed to each other time and again. In this next chapter, I promise to keep adventuring with you and to intentionally seek out the joy and beauty in life. I promise to support you in all of your dreams, passions, and hobbies. I promise to do the work to be the best version of myself for you. Finally, and most importantly, I promise to love and accept you for exactly who you are, however that might evolve over the years and decades ahead of us. While we can never know what the future holds and how exactly our life together will unfold, I vow to continually commit to and encourage our love to grow like the two vines growing together, twisting and turning and navigating this crazy experience we call life. I love you, and I'm so happy to be finally marrying you today.
I'll now invite Stephen to bring the rings. I'll say a quick thing and then. Abby and Eric, as you've reflected and shared, the journey behind you has not always been easy. It's been fun at times, but not always easy. And the journey ahead is unpredictable and will not always be easy. But the strengths that each of you brings into the relationship have often been the strengths that each of you brings in the relationship have often been sources of challenge or conflict in the past. But these very gifts that you hold, along with the foundation of trust that you've cultivated, are what has enabled you to endure and overcome time and again, and will help you will overcome and endure into the future. Continue tapping into your gifts to serve your higher shared purpose and goals. Meanwhile, continue to hold space for trial, setbacks, learning, and growth, both independently and as a couple. There's no limit to the heights of joy and fulfillment you'll continue to find in your lives together. All right, so Eric, you're gonna go first. And, sorry, my bad, that's yours. Okay. All right, and you can place the ring on Abby's hand. And I will ask Abby first. Abby, with this ring, do you take Eric as your loving husband, offering your love, encouragement, your trust, and respect as you continue on your lifelong journey together? All right, Abby, you can put the ring on Eric. Now, Eric, with this ring, do you take Abby as your loving wife, offering your love, encouragement, your trust, and respect as you continue on your lifelong journey together?
I do.
Eric and Abby, look around again. You have united two families and two sets of friends as one. Everyone here in attendance, I'm going to ask you now to promise that they'll support Eric and Abby in their marriage with love, joy, compassion, and optimism. For those who wish to promise their support, so those in the audience, say we do. We do. With the blessing of everyone here today, I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Ty. You may kiss the bride.
As Abby's older sister by only 15 months, I can honestly say I hit the jackpot in the built-in best friend department. And looking at this beautiful bride today, I'm sure it's not hard to imagine that Abby was the cutest kid, little kid in the world. If you guys haven't seen little baby pictures, because I saw there weren't too many of you, let me know. I have a really cute one on my phone I can share. She shared with me recently. It was pretty ridiculous. But more than just adorable, Abby has always been very kind, true to herself in ways I've always looked up to, and absolutely hilarious. And watching you all crack up in conversations last night, I know I'm not the only one that felt that way. And many of my favorite memories have been by your side, and most of them involve a lot of laughter. Abby, it's been such a privilege to grow up with you and watch you become this amazing, talented, and grounded young woman that you are. You are a wonderful sister, a caring friend, and now you get to take on the role of a loving wife, and I cannot wait to watch you thrive in this next chapter. And Eric, I want to say thank you. The way that you love, support, and encourage my sister, it's the greatest gift that you could give anyone who loves her. Your sense of calm security, love of adventure, and lighthearted kindness make for the perfect match for her, and my heart overflows knowing that you two get to have chosen each other to be partners in life's greatest adventure. So together, I'd like to raise a toast. I forgot my glass. Let me grab it. To you two, the ties. May your love stretch from the highest of your summits to the depths of your ocean dive and every mile that you walk in between. Cheers.
Hey everybody, if I haven't met you, I'm Drew. I'm one of Abby and Eric's close friends from college. Here we go. Eric is a terrible friend to have. I don't mean actually terrible. He's obviously very wonderful. And I'll get to that part of my speech quickly before my mic gets pulled for Clark. But Eric, more than anyone in my life, tells me what he's doing on a given weekend or a given day or a given morning, and I just can't help but go, seriously? Sometimes when I'm describing Eric to somebody else, I have to start with, he is real, and I promise he is a super nice guy. Because the book jacket summary of Eric makes him sound like some unstoppable cyborg. He's a very successful biofarm businessman. He's a likely future executive. He loves to spearfish, hunt, scuba dive, abalone collect, snowboard. He's also well-traveled. He's a beloved son and brother. He enjoys meditating, as has been discussed today. Oh, and he goes to this yoga workout class once a week with some insane lady, if you've talked to him, who literally turns people away for not being hardcore enough, and who, if you've ever heard Eric describe her techniques, I am 95% sure is a dominatrix in her life. Doris, I forgot she has my mom's name. Like what? We all aspire to so many of these things, but Eric just does them. He does them with joy, with enthusiasm, and with conviction. Except for spelling. He cannot spell. It is his one flaw. And if that is all Eric was, he would still do whatever he wanted, and it would be so fun to be his friend. But it would also be really hard. Because how do you compare yourself to somebody like that? How do you talk to them about the hard things when you're struggling, about the parts of life that you need friends for the most? But Eric is also sensitive. I agree, you read the book jacket summary that I described, it makes no sense. But he has this amazing capacity to be vulnerable, especially for someone who you just assume has no vulnerabilities. And that is why having Eric as a friend is such a blessing. Because it gives you this close person in your life who ticks off every box you can imagine, who you feel like just has it figured out. Oh, those are some old photos. And who's doing things right. And he'll say to you, yeah, man, I'm having a hard time too. This part of my life has been really tough lately. And what it all means is that when a person like Eric tells you that they respect you and that they can look up to you, Lord knows why, it's hard not to want to do whatever you can to live up to that. And that brings me to Abby. Because Abby is so clearly the driving force behind Eric's sensitivity. Behind making sure that Eric never reached the end game of super macho hunter-gatherer that Eric's high school coach, Coach Sanchez, clearly trained him to become. And I think it would be easy to reduce their dynamic to, oh, Abby is the emotionally attuned female partner who makes her husband understand how to express himself. But as you all know, that is too simple a story for them. Abby is a badass.
Yeah, she is.
There she is.
She loves all of the adventures as much or more than Eric. She can hang with anyone and anything. And I think the thing that Abby does that's so important with Eric and with all the people that she loves is she encourages slowing down and reflecting. Sometimes it's through teasing Eric when he goes into full Eric mode, which thrills me. But it's also with patience, with understanding, and with respect for my friend. I'm lucky to have watched this relationship and these people grow over the past 12 to 13 years. I heard 12 earlier, so I maybe counted wrong. I thought 13. And as I've thought about all that I've been fortunate enough to observe, I've come to the conclusion that there's no better proof that this is a lasting and happy love story than what you've already lived. Because what better foundation for a relationship than knowing one another, finding out more about yourself and who you are, and through that, finding your way to each other. So here is to my friends, to two people who make you want to live up to their love. May we live up to theirs, and may they both live up to each other's. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Man. Cheers. Yeah. Here, here. Wow.
We'll talk about it later.
It's a good one to follow. For those that I don't know, my name's Hannah, and I'm honored to be saying a few words about my dear friends, our bride and groom, Abby and Eric. Wow. Worse than anticipated. I met Abby on my second day of class at Berkeley. It was in a leadership class, probably not surprising. And we did some sort of activity where we had to stand in a circle. And standing across the circle from me was this awesome looking woman. And something instinctively told me that I wanted to be friends with her. And I genuinely don't remember anything else about what we did in that circle or what happened. But despite how good my instincts were in that moment, they never could have told me how long our friendship would last and how dear she would become to me and be my sister. So Abby is the most intentional person I've ever met. I think we've covered that on a few different moments this evening. But each step that Abby takes is thoughtful and reflective, geared towards learning more about herself and moving in a more authentic direction with her life. Over the years, our friendship has always supported self-reflection and growth. Our talks are often therapy and coaching sessions, each of us listening, asking questions, and sharing perspectives. In the last decade, there is not a single event in my life that I haven't processed or reflected on with her. But I don't want to give the impression that it's all serious, because it's not. No one can take a hard right turn into a crass joke like this one. She can drop a signature Abby one-liner at just the right moment without fail. She's extremely committed to Jell-O shots. The only person I have ever danced on a table with, and 9 times out of 10 will be the first person to blast a very questionable song in a rental minivan. Abby, I'm indescribably grateful for the joy, support, and wisdom that you've brought into my life. My relationship with Eric was a little bit less love at first sight, but it really has blossomed into one of my most meaningful friendships. I have many memories with Eric from college and early days in San Francisco, but the experience that embodies my sense of Eric now and the role of his friendship in my life is a very good trail talk. If you are out on a trail with Eric Ty and he says, "So, I have a question. Buckle up because you are in for it. Political polarization in America? Check. Gun rights and hunting culture? Check. Informal market research on COVID treatments? Check. Reflections on career and life purpose? Check. I have several distinct memories of hauling myself over a pass and thinking, how is he still talking? But over the years, I've come to realize that these conversations are driven not by Eric's curiosity or by his intellect, but by his, not that those things are not there. They're definitely there. But the driving force that I believe is behind this constant inquiry is eternal optimism. Eric is the most optimistic person that I know. He believes so deeply in people, in our ability to do better and achieve more. This optimism is something I admire about Eric because I don't always have it, but he brings it to all parts of his life with ease and authenticity. To me, these two traits, intention and optimism, are not just what drive you as individuals, but what have supported your relationship over the years. When you got back together, I was skeptical, as any good, loyal friend should be. But I can genuinely say that the growth that I have seen the two of you go through since then is astounding. When these two faced a question of having incompatible interests, they sat down and made a Venn diagram of activities and discussed how to maximize what lied in the middle. That's not something that I believe many of us could or would do in a time of conflict, and it's also not something I'm sure earlier versions of you would have done either. But to me, it's the perfect example of how you've grown in your relationship, showing up with a thoughtful intention to navigate it well, and the sincere optimism that it can always be better. To me, one of the greatest gifts that we can hope for is to find a partner of any kind, but someone who we can walk through life with together. Someone who will sit across from us when things are challenging or changing, and have the hard conversation when you have to ask, now what? I see the two of you cultivating that partnership every day. So today, on your wedding day, my wish for you is that you always approach your life together with thoughtful intention and the sincere optimism that things can always be better. It's one of the great gifts of my life to have grown with you as friends and as family, and I can't wait for what this next chapter holds. To Abby and Eric.
Wow, what a good story.
Wow.
All right, so I think I do know everyone here. I'm Mike, and I have to say, I'm going to borrow a quote. Last November, we went to Eric's cousin's wedding in El Paso, Texas, and he told us when we were walking in after he'd had a lot of drinks and taken a lot of pictures that the wedding that he was just part of was the best wedding that he had ever been to. And you know, we laughed and laughed, and I have to say today was an incredible wedding, maybe the best wedding that I've ever gone to. It wasn't it. And I also remember about 12 years ago, Paula and I drove her dad down to Menlo Park, I believe, to meet his first great-grandchild. And so we drove him down, and he went inside, and we weren't there for very long. And he held the baby, and we went outside, and he was just smiling. He wouldn't stop smiling. It was just he and I were out there, and he said to me, today was a very, very good day. And then he just sat and he waited for Paul to come out, and we went home. And when I think of today, I have to tell you that for the rest of my life, when I think of today, I will have a big smile because today has been an incredible, incredible day.
You're here.
Yep.
You're here.
So now, let's get to talking about the personality of the little Eric Tyler.
Someone who knows.
And I have to say, when Paul and I got married, we got a dog. I was all over that. I knew how to do it. Then Paula got pregnant, and all of a sudden we had this book. I forget, it's like My Baby and Me, or something. It was like a college science book or something. All kinds of stuff. You know, I really didn't know what I was doing when Stephen came along. But by the time Eric came along, I was brimming with self-confidence. I didn't know what I was doing, but I felt pretty good about it. So one day, my first like interpersonal connection with Eric was very primitive, and I know some of you guys are probably thinking you've had primitive interactions with Eric, but that's I'm saving this for another day. Because ours was no words and really not a whole lot, but just Paul and I were both there, we remember it exactly, and it summed up Eric. Paula used to wrap them up. You know, they had the blanket where they were all wrapped up, and you know, it was like the chicken Caesar with the, you know, with their heads sticking out the top. And I could never redo. So pretty much, however they were, if I got them that way, I just would leave them. But one day, Eric was about 3 months old, and I put him down and I unwrapped him. And there I was, face to face with the little guy. And we both, you know, we're just like looking at each other. And then I held out one of my fingers. And he grabbed the finger, and you know, we've all done that before with the little kid. But I'm telling you, Eric, he grabbed that thing really hard. and I said something, and Paula came over and I did it, and he did it again. And I think if my finger had been strong enough, I could have lifted him. You know, but that was Eric. I mean, that was, you know, as he got older, I mean, there was all the smiles and all the, you know, all the laughter and all the fun. But that was Eric. I mean, in everything that Eric did, Eric went for it with a gusto. I mean, in school, in sports, socially, recreationally, being a good friend. I mean, that was Eric. I mean, Eric, that's the Eric that everyone here knows. And so, you know, it was from the very first time I ever had an interaction. And then when I met Abby, I realized that Abby had met his kindred spirit. That, you know, I mean, you guys are perfect. And I mean, I share like what Drew says. I mean, Paul and I, we get tired just sometimes when we hear about all the things, you know, how to keep up, how to, you know, I mean, it's like, holy cow. So a long time ago in Yankee Stadium, Lou Gehrig gave a pretty famous speech. Yes. And in that speech, he said that he felt that he was the luckiest man in the world because he had got to play first base for the New York Yankees. And I felt like for the last 37 years that I've been the luckiest guy in the world because I've been married to Paula.
Oh.
Yeah. And I know today that Eric, you feel that way about Abby, and Abby, you feel that way about Eric. And my toast for you is that you continue to feel that way decades from now and for the rest of your life. So congratulations, and we love you. Thank you.
It's like a chicken Caesar. It's like
He's okay.
It's okay.
We just want to say a few words before we wrap up dinner. First off, you know, just being here right now after first touring this place is surreal. It's just incredible that, you know, we thought that this was going to happen in 2020.
Right.
Jeff at one point thought it was going to happen in 2021. And yet here we all are today. And we just want to first thank everybody for making the journey up here. We know it's a little bit more of a remote spot to get to, but we also know how much you guys love us and how much you guys appreciate our journey and have been part of our journey. And we truly appreciate you guys making the trip here. We also really want to say a special thank you to our parents. Every one of you has been so incredibly important in our lives and so amazing for this weekend. And we truly appreciate everything you guys have done for us. Thank you. I also really want to thank Jeff. That was an amazing ceremony.
Yeah.
Love everything you put into it, all the time you spent interviewing friends and family and being the conduit. So thank you. I'll share one more thing, which is, one of the reasons we love this location was because of the redwood trees here. And as I'm sure all of you know, the coastal redwood trees here grow to be the tallest trees in the whole world. One of the things, though, that I actually just learned in the last few months is that their roots only go about 15 feet into the ground. And the secret to them is that their roots spread out hundreds of feet around into the other trees.
Yep.
And the interconnectedness between them is what gives them nourishment and gives them strength during the storms. And the reason you guys are all here today and the reason we love you guys so much is because of all the nourishment you've given us and all the strength you've given us. And we really appreciate that. So is that. Got her. Got one.
Yeah.
You're saying you're our trees.
I jokingly told Eric, though, for Humboldt County, there was like this windstorm, a huge windstorm when we were younger, and it blew down this like whole field of redwoods. It just all went down. So we go down. You guys are coming I kind of killed his, like, he was like, he had this great metaphor. I was like, babe, like, I grew up with the redwoods.
Catastrophic failures.
We'll let you know.
We got each other's backs. Yeah.
It's Jonestown all over there.
Yes, thank you so much for coming tonight. Just wanted to recap a little bit. I feel like when we were envisioning our wedding, we weren't sure that we wanted like the big, huge wedding with the dance floor and all that. We were like, what we love most and what I think you all know is like an evening. Camping would be nice, but we decided to get a little dressier for tonight. So we just, we're going to have some games out. We're just going to be lounging around, hanging out, and then we'll head down to the bar afterwards. But so thankful for you guys for all coming, and we're so grateful that you're here. So thank you. And I forgot one very special thing that also is happening today. It is my nephew Eli's first birthday. So I figured we might as well sing him happy birthday because why not? All right, everyone with me? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eli. Happy birthday to you.
I know, it's always so precious.
together where the wild mountain thyme throws around the bloom and heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
Hey.
Is that a choir song? Yes, okay. I remember that song. We're both like humming along. Yes. Good old choir. Yes, good old Redwood Children's Choir. I feel like Paige now. Do you remember this song?